Picture this. It's 2008 and you're playing the latest Call of Duty game, World at War. You've just placed the Soviet flag at the head of the Reichstag, ending World War II and completing one of the best Call of Duty campaigns ever made. The credits roll and you reflect on the fantastic game you've just played. Then, the screen goes blank, and you're transported to a desolate wasteland, shrouded in fog, and this evil, f***ing maniacal laugh blares out of your TV speakers, and you're stood there with nothing except your Colt M1911. You begin hearing groans, shadowy figures emerge from the fog, and you quickly smell this foul stench as you realise you've just shit your pants. This is how many players were introduced to Call of Duty's Nazi Zombies. Wait, I can't say Nazi? Alright, yeah. Forgot about that. Zombies! Everybody's heard of them, and in 2022, everybody's fucking sick of them. In the late 2000s and early to mid 2010s, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing some form of media about the bloody living dead. There were movies about them, TV shows about them, and boy was there a lot of fucking video games about them. But the one I played the most was Call of Duty Black Ops. You might find it odd that the funny frogman who plays games like Clockman, Dogman, and Rayman would also enjoy first-person shooters. But what can I say? I like to point the mouse, click the button, and watch the head go.
How does anyone find that funny?
My first experience with COD Zombies was at a mate's house, and it was one of excitement and terror. But mostly terror. We didn't make it far, and I'm pretty sure we died on dogs as we were so petrified, but little did I know that I'd just been infected with the zombie bug. We toughened up, played again and again and again. We couldn't get enough of it. The gameplay was so addicting, and there was always that drive to get one round further. And if it wasn't for just how fun and addicting this game mode was, COD Zombies as we know it would not exist today. I feel sorry for the poor sods in the alternate universe that never got to play this game mode. Hey man, you up for a couple of rounds of COD Zombies? Mate, fuck you talking about COD Zombies? It's all about fucking Medal of Honor zombies, mate. Following the ginormous success of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Treyarch knew they were going to have to bring something unique to the table in order to set their new game apart. So during World at War's troubled development, a tower defense horde mode was planned where you'd man a machine gun turret, mowing down waves of troops to see how long it could survive. However, it was quickly ditched as it was going to be set during the Battle of Normandy, and the dev team was pretty uncomfortable with the idea of forcing the player to control a German soldier. But the tower defense idea still stuck. This small dev team was led by one Jesse Snyder, who in his spare time continued to develop the concept further, eventually landing on Nazi Zombies. Word rapidly spread throughout the Treyarch office about this strange and interesting new Zombies mode, and people could not get enough of it. People from all departments were asking to try it out, and devs were comparing each other's high scores and what round they got to.
Oh yeah, I got to round 6 on that new Zombies mode we're working on. Oh, nice one, man. I could only get to round 5. Round 6? I got to round 11. Fuck me now.
Everybody knew that this was it. This is what needed to be in the next Call of Duty game. During heavy crunch time to finish the main game, more and more devs began lending a hand to flesh out the game mode further, with the chairman of Treyarch, Mark Lamia, eventually catching wind of this, and he was initially, and understandably, frustrated with the team for working on a project that hadn't even been greenlit so close to launch.
I remember the first time I heard about it, I was like, what?
But after playing it for himself, he just couldn't let this thing go.
It was clear, the excitement around the studio was totally infectious, and I was infected too at that point.
He knew he couldn't let such a fun game mode go to waste, so he fought for it, and it was allowed to stay in the game as an Easter egg for players who completed the campaign. There was absolutely zero marketing for Zombies, and keeping it a secret is most likely what made it such a success. It was like a playground rumor, something that sounds so far-fetched, but you just had to try it for yourself. And once you'd beaten the campaign, lo and behold, there it is. Does anyone else smell shit?
I can taste it.
I wanted to give a brief overview of how Zombies came to be, just so I could put into perspective of how far Zombies has come since its inception, with there being well over 40 Zombies maps across 6 different games, with their own mechanics, themes and storylines. And not to mention the giant overarching Aether storyline. It completely took on a life of its own, and many people, myself included, exclusively bought Treyarch COD games just for just for Zombies. So what really made Zombies so popular? Well, I'd put it down to 3 things. The co-op, the atmosphere, and just how bloody fun and addictive this game mode is. Some players were also taken by the mystery and the story of it all, and wanted to see if there was a bigger picture. But to get this out of the way, no, I'm not going to be talking about the story in this video. It's absolutely massive, with so many winding plot lines and way too many characters and concepts to count. If you are interested, there's plenty of other videos out there for you, but strap in because it's a fucking long ride. It's a very long ride. 6 hours? 6 hours? What the fuck? Over the course of World at War's lifespan, it received 4 maps. Frucht, Shino Numa, Doris, and the one that started it all, Nectar and Toten. This desolate wasteland is an old World War II bunker that the world had long since forgotten since the war had ended. This is where the atmosphere begins seeping in. This place is downright creepy. And that's something that all the World at War maps execute excellently, possibly the best in the franchise. Wait, no, definitely the best in the franchise. These places belong in bloody Silent Hill, not a Call of Duty game. There's this horrible feeling of claustrophobia and dread within Nacht. While there's plenty of space for you to run around in, there's an oppressive fog that obscures the outside world. Prison-like bars that keep you locked in, and absolutely zero exits. You are trapped, and you are f***ed. Adding to the already overbearing atmosphere is the incredible ambient sound design. In the distance you can hear screams and screeches, wood creaking, chains being dragged around, spontaneous detonations, and all sorts of other daunting sounds. Not only does the environment have an eerie sound to it, but the zombies themselves sound almost demonic. They make these guttural growls, hisses and screams. It's almost animalistic. It's a shame a lot of these never left Nacht, as they're so unbelievably creepy and demonic. The zombie sounds in Black Ops and Beyond sound almost comedic in comparison. In other zombie games, a zombie will grab you and begin chomping on your neck as happy as a dog with two dicks. But not these guys. They'll slowly hobble towards you, and if they get close enough, they'll begin windmilling you into submission. And they're strong motherfuckers too. Only 2 jabs from a zombie and you'll do whatever the hell this is. A lot of World at War Zombies difficulty can be attributed to, well, just how jank the zombies are. If one of them does manage to hit you, there's a very high chance they aren't going to let go, so you can get fairly easily comboed by a group of them. Man, I swear there's nothing worse than turning around and having one of these fuckers right up in your face. To this day, that still shits me up. If you prefer not to get sucker punched by the undead, however, you've thankfully got a gigantic arsenal at your disposal to take care of them. At its core, Zombies is a wave shooter. Round after round, the zombies pile in and you load their fascist faces with lead for as long as you can, using anything you can. Whether it be the fucking piece of shit Car 98K, or the undisputed king of all weapons in zombies, the PPSH. You'll always start with the M1911, which after round 2, well, you may as well just bounce it off their noggin and use your knife instead. Although your knife in World at War is complete dog shit. 9 times out of 10, if you try and knife a zombie through the window, you'll miss. And if you try and knife him up close, more than likely you're going to lunge into him, giving the zombie an open invitation to give your brain a nice big bear hug. If you actually want to fight in chance, you should grab a gun off the wall. How? I don't know. All I know is that if you draw a gun on the wall with chalk, they magically appear. Most guns off the wall will serve you well, though not all of them are winners. So if you want some real firepower, try your luck by giving the mystery box a spin. No matter who you played zombies with, there was always a box whore. And if you've never played with one before, it's because you are the box whore, my friend. There was always that one fucking guy who'd constantly be giving this thing a whirl because they just couldn't be satisfied with their M1 Garand. Fucking hell, mate, give us a go. All I've got is this useless Browning and this piece of shit ray gun. Ah, the ray gun. The holy grail of weaponry in COD Zombies, and in a special circumstance, the campaign too. Yeah, who knew they had these things knocking about in World War II? Did anyone else find this Easter egg a bit creepy, or just me? This is the gun that every Zombies player wanted, but only a few would wield. And it'd always be the shittiest player in your party who'd get it. Bro, I've got the ray gun, revive me, bro, I've got the ray gun. Like, I don't care, mate, I want that ray gun, you. Remember those videos that were like, how to get the ray gun every time, 100% real, works, and be like, do this spin, do a headshot with the Magnum, shoot these little bolts, and then boom, ray gun. Oh shit, that actually worked. Honestly, I'd usually pass it up. I don't know, man, I was never a huge fan of it. Yeah, it was strong, but you just don't get that satisfaction you'd get from blowing up heads with a Browning or the almighty Magnum. And it's super easy to put yourself down with. All those box spins, however, are going to get quite pricey, so you better have the cash to pay for them. You gonna open that door, bro? Come on, you're stacked. Come on, open the door.
I require more money.
By cash, I mean points. You're going to need quite a few of them if you plan on getting past round 3. You get points from killing zombies, repairing barriers, and if you get lucky, you may get a double points drop, which does exactly what it says on the tin. The same with insta-kill, max ammo, and nuke. All these drops should help you build a sizable point wealth, though the biggest troll Treyarch could have made was this weapons cabinet, with a fat question mark pointing towards it. Obviously this thing's going to intrigue you and make you want to see what's inside. And well, disappointment's the only word that comes to mind. Or shit. Fucking 1500 points for a gun that only costs 200! You're telling me that scope's worth 1300 points? Yeah, I didn't think so! When initially playing zombies, a lot of people's strategy is to camp in a certain spot and keep spraying until they get overrun. But the easiest way to keep yourself safe and to get to high rounds is by training zombies. The zombies, yeah, they ain't the smartest things roaming this earth, and their pathfinding is incredibly simple. So if you run around in a circle, they'll just follow you. So training a massive horde and taking them all out is both satisfying and efficient, though it can get a little tedious and repetitive after a while. So is that all this game mode is? Just kill wave after wave of zombies in a small little building while gambling all your money away in a random box? Yeah! And players absolutely loved it. The simple gameplay loop of defending yourself against an infinite horde of the undead while unlocking new parts of a map to get better gear and trying to beat your high score with your mates was incredibly fun and replayable, and fans desperately wanted more of it. And lucky for them, 4 months later, Treyarch blessed zombie fans with a whole new map, Verrückt. Out of the 4 maps available in World at War, Verrückt was the one I played the least because fuck man, this map can be hard. It's an incredibly tight map with small corridors, very little room to train zombies in, staircases that you can easily get trapped on, and zombies come at you from everywhere. I could never really get a good strategy down, so back to Kino I went.
Oh fuck, no! Oh, you twat.
Playing co-op can definitely alleviate some of the difficulty, but only by so much. To add to that, Verrückt is fucking creepy. Nacht was eerily creepy, but Verrückt is on a whole other level. Verrückt takes place in an abandoned insane asylum in Berlin, and the building has clearly seen better days. I'm pretty sure this fire isn't supposed to be here. Thank God it doesn't hurt you though, because that would get frustrating real quick. I sure hope that isn't a feature in any future Zombies maps. Everywhere you go, you can hear screams from past patients, weeping. I think there was a crying baby at some point when I looked at this mini morgue. Being able to see the outside world just shows how fucked everything is. I always found this forest fire to be rather unnerving, and if you fancy shitting your pants again, meet the sprinters.
Oh, the sprinters.
These fuckers genuinely scare me. The speed at which they run at could rival Usain Bolt, and it's hard to outrun and shoot them because by the time you've turned around, they've got a handful of your bollocks, and let me tell you, they are not going to be gentle with them. Needless to say, I can never get terribly far on Verrückt. I think round 19 is actually my highest round, and I died to the fucking piece of shit ray gun.
Piece of shit.
Verrückt added sewn mechanics and features to the game mode, with many of them becoming permanent additions to the gameplay formula, the biggest of which being the Coca-Cola machines. Ah, Juggernog, how I and the entire Zombies community love you. Jug is essential if you want to get far in Zombies, as it increases the amount of hits you can take from 2 to 4. The other essential perk is Speed Cola, which increases your reload speed by 50%, which is a bloody lifesaver. Double tap is one I'm torn on. It's definitely got advantages. It simply increases your fire rate, which on one hand is great as it allows you to kill zombies faster, but on the other hand it increases your recoil and depletes your ammo like nothing else. Personally, I'm not shit at the game, so I never faced these issues. But I can understand why some players would skip this one. It was later revamped in Black Ops 2 by also increasing your weapon damage, so it went from a pretty mid perk to a top tier one. And then there's Quick Revive, which simply allows you to revive a fallen player faster, which is fantastic at multiplayer, although if you're playing solo, this perk is fucking useless! It literally does nothing, at least in World at War. Quick would thankfully be revamped in Black Ops 1, allowing solo players to be revived if they have this perk, making it essential unless you're doing some kind of challenge run. This perk system works great. I don't know what they did in Black Ops 4, but I do not like change, so this angers me beyond belief. In order to take advantage of these perks, however,
we need to turn the power on!
Yeah, Verrückt also introduced the concept to turn the lights on. Without power, you're not getting your bloody hands on those perks. Or you won't be able to take advantage of the new electric traps that are littered around the map. These things are pretty neat, as when activated, anything that passes through them will be fried to death instantly, making them essential to use if you want to get to higher rounds. Just be careful not to walk through them yourself.
Downs you? What?
Yeah. A bunch of new weapons were also added, including my precious PP. No, that came out wrong. And the last major thing Verrückt introduced was this cute little teddy bear in the box. Oh, I thought I'd be able to use that as a weapon. To punish the box whores of the world, upon getting a teddy bear, the box will take off into the sky and be transported to another location on the map. However, don't be surprised if you're already beaten to it. With all that said though, Verrückt was a massive step up from Nacht in every way. So what did Treyarch do? Well, they only went and did it again with Shi no Numa. This was around the time when Treyarch really started marketing zombies first and foremost with World at War's DLC. The trailers started featuring the new zombie maps first, and the promotional images for the map packs were zombie focused too. And it also looked fucking awesome, by the way. Literally translated to Swamp of Death, Shi no Numa is set in none other than a swamp, and funnily enough, there's quite a few dead there and all, including this guy. Hopefully he was no one important. On the loading screen, we're introduced to 4 new characters. Tank Dempsey, an American Marine, Nikolai Belensky, a Russian soldier in the Red Army, Takeo Masaki, a Japanese soldier of the Imperial Japanese Army, and Dr. Edward Richtofen, a German scientist. While we know very little about them now, they become incredibly important later on in the Zombies storyline. But all you need to know for now is that this cast of unconventional allies will become the main playable characters for the foreseeable future. As for new gameplay features, Shi no Numa adds the incredibly innovative gameplay feature of being able to step outside. Yeah, this is the first Zombies map that will let you step outside and touch grass. Because of this, the mystery box now emits a beam of light into the sky to indicate its location. It also adds a new enemy type, the Hellhounds.
No!
Every 5 or 6 rounds, a thick fog will envelop the map and these cute little furballs will run along to hump your leg. These fucking horrified me as a kid. Their erratic movements and the sounds they make really fucked with me, and they just look creepy as all hell. They are pretty easy to put down, however, especially if you take advantage of the new wonder weapon, the Wunderwaffe DG2. This electrifying bit of kit was actually invented by Dr. Richtofen for use on the front lines in World War II. How it ended up in Japan, I'll never know, but I'm glad it's here. When fired, it shoots a bolt of lightning.
What'd you say? A bolt of lightning?
And it'll shock the target with infinite damage, chaining up to 9 more zombies. It's an absolute beast of a weapon, just don't use it in close quarters. A good question to ask is, how was such a powerful and advanced gun created during World War II? Firstly, this is a video game. Secondly, this is a video game where you're fighting off hordes of Nazi zombies with an alien ray gun and a weapon that shoots fucking lightning. So logic went out the window quite a while ago. But thirdly, in universe it's powered by Element 115. Not to go into too much detail, but Element 115 has been featured in numerous pieces of sci-fi media, and its source is often from space. COD Zombies runs with this and makes it the cause of the zombie outbreak, though it's also an extremely powerful energy source. In short, funny space rock make weapons go but also make human brains go. There's a massive meteorite of it out in the swamp, which caused the deceased Japanese Imperial soldiers to turn into zombies. While Rucht had a map structure that sort of like looped, Shi no Numa has more of an N64 styled map, with you starting in the centre of it with branching paths in each corner. At the end of each path there's a hut that will contain one of the returning perks. However, their locations are randomised each game, so you best hope you unlock Jug first.
Banger.
I require more money.
That's the chorus.
There's also this neat little zip line that I honestly never use, so that's cool. I don't find Shi no Numa that particularly creepy or scary compared to Verrucht or Nacht. The wide open spaces to run in definitely make me feel safer, and it's much easier to train in than Verrucht, though the disturbing ambience still remains. However, Shi no Numa is an absolute classic. There's a reason why it's had so many re-releases in other games. But you know what? I've always had the shittiest luck on this map. Whether it be bad perk spawns, shitty box luck, lunging into the wrong zombie and going down on fucking round 2. Personally, I'm not shit at the game. Yeah, I retract my earlier statement. However, I do pretty commonly get the Wunderwaffe. With all that said though, I do love Shi no Numa. It's one of those comfort maps where you can just play it and have a good time. It's also piss easy with the Flogger and Wunderwaffe. You can get to some stupidly high rounds on this map if you have enough patience. Seriously, the world record is over 10,000, what the fuck? At the tail end of World at War's lifespan, one last map pack was released, with the main attraction being the now famous map, Doris. Doris is hands down the best zombies map in World at War, and one of the best in the entire franchise, and it's one I played a load as a kid.
Can't believe that, I've got a Wunderwaffe. Oh! Look at that gun, it's immense.
Treyarch knew exactly what they were doing when they made the Giant in Black Ops 3 paid DLC. Yeah, it's shitty, but of course you know how to buy that shit, son. The Giant is rising. Face the might of the Nazi zombies in their heartland. This is where it all began. This is where the master plan took shape. Is this where it all ends? I have no idea why, but that description creeped me the f*** out as a kid. It may be because it was paired alongside this image, which, looking at it now, yeah, these guys aren't so threatening. Look at him, he just wants a high five. Doris was a secret German facility during World War II for Group 935. This group was formed to study Element 115 in hopes of using it to better the human condition. In short, it didn't, and instead created the zombies. They also created a slew of other shit like the Coca-Colas and Wonder Weapons, and a lot of the new things you'll find in Doris. Like the first thing you'll most likely see when you initially spawn in, the Pack-a-Punch machine. Unfortunately, it's locked behind a big ass door, so I'll get back to that in a bit. As for the map itself, well, it's just fantastic. It encapsulates everything great about the 3 previous maps, adds in a bunch of fun new toys, in some cases literally, and creates one of the most enjoyable, creepiest, and interesting all-around zombies maps ever. I mean, look at this place. The fact there's a constant eclipse in the sky tells me that maybe something ain't right. There's parts of the map that suggest some really twisted, f***ed up stuff happened here. Like in the animal testing lab. There's blood everywhere. It's all up the walls, there's bloody handprints on the doors, and someone left a rat on the table. Despicable. Most of the buildings are derelict and perpetually on fire, with embers and ash flowing through the air. Yet it feels cold, barren, and sterile. There's so many small little details that go a long way in giving the whole place an eerie atmosphere. This ominous shadow of a teddy bear is creepier than it has any right being, and this bloody paw print on this wall, well, if I'm honest, it just confused me. It does look a bit out of place. He's here.
Oh, you twat.
If you enjoyed those dog rounds from Shi no Numa, you'll be happy to know that they're returning Doris. However, after round 16, Hellhounds will also start spawning alongside the zombies, which, yeah, thanks Treyarch, I really needed that. A couple of new weapons have been introduced in Doris, the main one of which being the Monkey Bomb. Another terrific device created by Richtofen. Wind this funky fella up and give him a chuck, and watch as the zombies become enamored by his song and dance. And those 2 sticks of dynamite on his back? Yeah, they're just for decoration. Just don't chuck one into the furnace, you heartless fucker.
Oh my god, it screams!
It's literally only just occurred to me that the HUD icon for monkeys is supposed to be a fez and not some metal cylinder. Yeah. The other new weapon is actually a melee weapon for once, the Bowie knife. For 3,000 points, it replaces your original knife and is a one-hit kill up until round 11. Just be careful going around knifing as you may... Yeah. Personally, I'm not shit at the game.
Shut it!
If you want to be technical, Doris actually doubles the amount of usable weapons if you put Pack-a-Punch weapons into consideration. Right, so the Pack-a-Punch machine. For 5,000 points, you can shove your weapon of choice into this wonderful machine, and if, and only if, you break your fingers in front of it, it'll spit out your weapon with a lovely new coat of paint. And let's be honest, World at War's Pack-a-Punch camo is the best in the series. Not only that, but it'll also increase your damage, your fire rate, your magazine size, and some weapons gain special effects.
Wouldn't it be funny if I Pack-a-Punched the starting pistol?
Oh my god! If you actually want to use this beloved machine, you're gonna have to get through that big ass door first. So you know what that means. It's time to link all the teleporters to the mainframe! Situated around the map are 3 teleporters, and once you've successfully linked them to the mainframe, they'll be fully operational. They're perfect when you're in a tight spot and need to make a quick escape, and of course, they allow you to access the Pack-a-Punch machine. I always find the zombies in this map to be extra creepy. They've come a long way since the grey-skinned creatures from Nacht, and you gotta give it to them, their knees are sturdy as f***. Like, they jump down from this ledge and immediately carry on running. That's gotta be at least a 9-foot drop, that's gonna break something. If Doris was the last zombies map ever made, I'd have no complaints. It nails everything it was aiming to do and then some, and created a damn fun map to play on for casual zombies fans, but also gave a lot of story and insight into actually what's going on for the fans who care about the story. But of course, that wasn't the case, and Zombies continued into the Black Ops series and beyond. It's mental how much Treyarch managed to get out of a game mode that was nearly axed during its inception, creating 4 distinctly varied maps with their own themes and features. The 4 World at War maps were later ported to Black Ops 1 for those who bought the hard and prestige editions of the game, or if you bought the Resurrection map pack, allowing players to relive these classic maps using the Black Ops engine, so getting stuck in zombies and getting one bombed is a thing of the past, and also allows you to use the Cold War weapons. But I don't know man, these versions feel like a bit of a downgrade to the originals. The lighting feels completely off and the maps themselves feel a lot less grimy than their World at War counterparts, though they are a perfectly fine way to play these maps. And then if you couldn't get enough of these 4 maps, in 2017 Zombie Chronicles was released as DLC for Black Ops 3, which included Nacht, Verrückt and Shi no Numa. They were completely remastered and built from the ground up, and now include mechanics from Black Ops 3 like Gobblegums and Der Wunderfizz, and they also include the vast majority of Black Ops 3 weapons. I would have preferred to have seen more World War II weapons return, though there are a handful of them. These maps look amazing, and they feel great to play on, though with all the new additions it does kinda take away from the simplicity of these maps, so I do tend to play them like I would in World at War, but the option is there if you do wish to play with those items, which can only be a good thing. However, I'm a little zombied out. I had to play a lot of zombies for this video, and while this game mode is incredibly fun both solo and with friends, you can get burnt out on it pretty quick, especially if you've been playing it for as long as I have. Once you've unlocked everything and geared up, there's honestly not much else to do aside from running around and trying to survive. Running in circles with a horde of zombies behind you can only be so fun for so long, you know? Now if only there was more to do, with bigger maps, new weapons, more places to explore, new enemy types, maybe a silverback gorilla. Perhaps I'll save that for a future video. Maybe.
Oi, are you sure you don't have a go at this? It's pretty f***ing good.
Do I f***? Holy shit.